So let's walk. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am here now for 1.5 day. I really see people inspiring each other. And that's one thing I like. I really like inspire people to think about why they do what they are doing. And if I ask someone that question, I get such a lovely answers. And I got eyes wide open. And it's so lovely to see a person in front of me smiling, eyes wide open.
Do you call yourself a doctor? What?
No,
When people ask you, what do you say?
I say I'm a yeah. Now I say I'm in between jobs, but I'm a life changer.
And people that are watching us don't know it yet, but we're walking. We're doing this conversation walking because you told me that walking somehow, among other things, changed and saved your life.
Yeah, it's a thing that's a main part in my life, getting into a movement, and I can refer to what I told you, like I changed job many times. I needed to get constantly into a flow or a movement, and I got a lot of barriers in my life, and I've undergone mental health illness. And in my journey to overcome the mental health illness, I learned one of many things, but one thing was my therapist told me, if you're stuck, just know one thing: stand still. Be aware of the fact that you're stuck and know that you can always choose to get into a movement. So make the step forward, get into movement, walk and see what's going on, what's going to happen. Know that the moment you are in is not static. It's not like all for always, not permanent. Thank you very much. As I told you, my vocabulary is not that broad, but
Mine too. Mine too.
that doesn't matter. I think it's really what I want to say is that getting into a movement gets you
always have a
further.
choice. Yeah.
Always have a choice. Always. And walking is one of the things. It's healthy. It's good for your mind. It's good to clear your mind. It's good to become aware of your own body, because you use your whole body, not only your mind. In with a mental illness, it's a lot of mind things that affect the body. So you can start to with treatment only on your mind, but you can do it the other way around as well. If you focus on the health of your body, will stimulate the health of your mind as well. So it's not one thing or another, but you have to see it in a bigger picture, and it's a bigger system a person is living in, and a person experiencing struggles. Why is the person experiencing struggles? When you walk with someone, you can let people see that if they are walking, they are coming further. You can use metaphors while you are walking. So, yeah, walking is so important.
But you tell me that when you wanted to find some help, you didn't find it with experts because they didn't see you as you wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
Why?
That's I have to switch a bit from walking to to experts. First thing that I really want to share with you is that yes, they are experts, and I've experienced that they couldn't help me the way I liked to get help, but I still think that they did what they could do in that moment, because they were not aware of the fact that they were not helping me neither. So besides that, you asked me what the reason was that they didn't see me, because I didn't show. And I think that's so important, that everyone who's experiencing struggles, that they have to know that they have to share what the struggle exactly is. And if they can't,
To know the patient.
yes, and the person, and if they can't explain it, the person in front has one task: to help the one in front to make it clear what exactly the question behind the question is. I had visible problems. But they thought it was the problem that has to be solved. But it was not a problem actually. It was underneath what was bothering me, and I didn't knew myself, and that was the reason I didn't feel seen. I couldn't see myself, so the other person couldn't see me as well. So it's even more complex in a simple way, but I think it's really helpful to make someone aware of the fact that the person in front of him, of her, sees the other person. So sees inside, not only outside the problem or the function, or I can broaden it from healthcare to.
In a medical point of view, how important it is for doctors to see in their patients more than just a patient, more than just a disease.
Do you want on a scale of 1 to 100?
Whatever you want.
And I say 200.
Why?
Look outside the box.
Why? Do you see your patients like this?
I don't see
Just
patients.
more than a disease.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really a fan of Ohio Mountain Dreamer. You have really a nice verse, and he's stating like, I don't care what you do for job, I don't care blah 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 blah. It's about you. And
happy you are.
you were born here, you are already. And when you are born, you are already perfect. And when a person grows up, everything happens. And all those experiences make someone's experience in life. It's a journey. And at one point, something happens and someone is like, now I have troubles. At that point, someone maybe is not aware of the fact that he've walked a long path. And what happened at that whole path, and why things happened, and what made him or her to here in this moment right now. But if you are able to see that someone walked the path and try to walk that path with him or her to the moment in here, and then have the ability to ask him or her where the future, where goals, where dreams are, and then help someone on his path walk with him or her on the path. It's so important to see that someone is not the disability.
But in your country, you told me in an earlier conversation that things function like this.
Things function like this, yeah. Yeah, practitioners, nurses, doctors, many
It's
persons.
about giving the patients a voice, right?
This is about giving the patient's voice, but I think it's two ways. I think nurses and doctors need a voice as well. I really hope that they know that they are human as well, and that they have vulnerabilities as well, and that they can and may show that they have them as well, because that's about the human connection. Yes, they have a lot of knowledge. Yes, they learned how to treat a patient with, for example, a broken leg or a heart disease. And I'm really thankful that those people live, because they're so hugely needed in this world to um, to create together a really sociable society, good society. Thank you. Um, I think we are now like so developed that we come in a momentum that we can do more. But we created systems, and it's education, it's the way we treat each other, became really normal. But the need for other than normal becomes urgent. And seeing that, I think it's really important um, to see that there's more, and to grow.
Besides the system, yeah.
To grow, you have to create a situation, because we are human and we don't change our behaviors if it's not a problem. I don't know why. It's evolutionary. I can, when I go in history, I can explain it. But I think our task is to create a situation where the needs are really high to change. And what's the problem then? Is there a problem, or
What's stopping us?
yeah? It's so interesting. Why do you do what you do? Or do you dare to ask yourself that question?
What are the answers?
Are there answers needed? Or can you just be? We're walking a stair.
Yeah. But
Are we
again,
go- are we going to the
talking
top?
about your talking
Yeah.
about your country again.
Is it reachable, the top?
Yeah.
Really? Maybe
For
we have.
sure,
Maybe,
for sure.
Maybe we have
Yeah?
to go up there then, because
Let's go. Let's try.
yeah, there you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
We don't do it. We don't do it perfect.
Talking about your country again. You told me there's a 4-day walking challenge.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's called Nijmeegse Vierdaagse.
Nijmeegse Vierdaagse.
Yeah. Wow. That was a challenge.
That's good. That was good.
You did really good. Yeah. Yeah. I can try your Dutch. I can learn it to you. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. It's not a project actually, but it's like an evenement. And 4 days of walking. It's from history. It's like a military thing. The militaries to train their discipline. They do 4 days in a row, 40 or 50 kilometers walking. And it's a challenge. And during those 4 days, it was really interesting. I set myself that goal that I wanted to experience it
When?
when I was really sick, actually.
1 year ago, 2 years ago?
No, 5 years ago, I think. And I planned to walk it in that year, but I found myself really unhealthy. My body was not strong enough to walk 4 days in a row. My mind thought I could do it, and probably I would have finished it, but it was not realistic to do it.
Sorry, Limke. Just for clear, we're talking about eating disorder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't like it to
call
name
it that,
to call
yeah.
it like that, because yeah,
You don't have to. Yeah.
no. But thanks. Yeah, we're talking about eating disorders, and I found myself in a situation that it was not appropriate to do it, and I discussed with myself, and I said to myself, okay, this year not, but it's still on my wish list, and I have something to strive for, and I set myself that goal, and last year I reached my goal, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it. And it was, for me, more than 4 days walking. And I found people in those 4 days walking were not only walking as same as me. They all had their own stories. And during that 4 days, there was such a high, familiar feeling, like we were all going to the same direction, all heading the same goal. The energy, the willingness to help each other through those 4 days, sharing food, sharing thoughts, sharing knowledge, sharing love. It's like unimaginary if you don't walk it, but the support on the side rows, 40 kilometers long. Can you think? Yeah, can you imagine how it is that you have support like 8 hours or 10 hours a day to reach your goal? People giving you food on the side. They make food. They ask 3 days on the job to support you during the 4 days. It's more than just 4 days walking. People setting themselves goals and make it. And I think it's, if you like get this situation, zeg maar, it's Dutch, get those situation into practice in healthcare, there are a lot of lessons in it. And I would love to invite people in healthcare to experience the 4 days walking. How it is to have the same vision, how it is to have the same goal. For example, good healthcare. What's that? How do we get there? Go in a conversation with a military. See what you can learn from him. The discipline, the how they reach things together, how they take care of each other. Ask an old man from 80 years old who walked the Nijmeegse Vierdaagse for his 60th time. Why is he doing that? Ask him. Try to get lessons, life lessons, wisdom, besides all the knowledge we all have. And the knowledge is everywhere. Search on the internet, you can find what you want to find. But wisdom, it's rare. And I think wisdom comes from movement, from experiences, sharing experiences, being willing to open yourself for new knowledge in humanity. Because, knowledge, you can reproduce it, but wisdom comes from inside. It's heart. And the heart, in my opinion, is stronger than the mind.
Thank you, Limke. It was nice to meet you.